Today I'm going to teach you how to make bacon wrapped stuffed peppers. If you really like pork, you're really going to like this recipe because it takes sausage and bacon. Check out this apron, isn't it beautiful? Look at the embroidery. Somebody did that, I can't believe that. I got this recipe from a boy that I knew and we were just friends. He was actually a friend of a boy that I liked, and long story short, he invited me and the guy that I liked to go to his company picnic. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I get there and the guy that I liked, he wasn't there. So I was stuck with his friend. And I guess his friend told everybody that I was his girlfriend. I was not his girlfriend. I was just the friend of his friend. But anyway, I did get this pepper recipe. So that's the only beneficial thing that came of that friendship. It was really awkward. Ladies were coming up to me and being like, oh, you're so sweet. We're so glad he found a nice one. I'm like, what are you talking about? Awkward. Okay, now everybody does their stuffed peppers differently as far as cutting them. What I do is I just cut the top off and then I cut down the middle. Some people will just take the top off, scoop out the middle, and just stuff the entire pepper. I do halves, so make sure you take out the membrane and the seeds. I'm also gonna do these peppers. I grew these in my garden. They're kind of funky looking, but they taste really good. Okay, so here's my peppers. Okay, next you're gonna cook 1 pound of sausage. So I went ahead and drained the sausage. Next I'm gonna add 1 block of cream cheese that I softened in the microwave because I forgot to let it set out. Okay, next I'm gonna add a generous amount of garlic powder, onion powder, and you know me, lots of pepper. And give that a good mix. I'm actually not gonna add any salt because the sausage is pretty salty. Okay, so for this recipe, you can cook it however you want to. You can grill it on a grill, you can smoke it in a smoker, or I'm gonna be lame and I'm just gonna bake it in the oven. So don't come after me. You do whatever you wanna do. I'm going to use a little tiny spoon that I use for my tea, and I'm gonna stuff my peppers with the filling like so. So something like that. Okay, now this part is completely optional, but I'm gonna add a little bit of everything bagel seasoning on top before I wrap them up in bacon. But again, this is totally optional. I usually don't do this, but I saw a recipe that called for this and I thought, ooh, that sounds good. So do this if you want to, you don't have to. Next, you're gonna take your bacon. I like to cut mine in half, just because I think it makes it stretch a little bit longer. And then you're just gonna wrap up the peppers. Look at this American bacon. I saw what people get across the pond as far as bacon goes, and oh my goodness, I'll never look at American bacon the same ever again. So I ran out of bacon and I ran out of toothpicks, so it is what it is. It'll be fine.